Hi folks, Tacitus Today, your pushback channel, Tacitus Today, and thank you for joining this audio live stream. Please listen to this as you would a radio broadcast. In this essay, I'd like to talk about hero guys. Now, hero guys are the big tough guy who he's there to stand up for and provide faux pretend protection for the little quivering woman. He's a big tough guy, and he's going to beat other guys up to show how fucking tough he is. And again, he's doing it for the honor of the little woman. Now, let's just sort of have a look at this wider question. Was that a thing sort of years ago? I think it was. And is it a thing today? And if it's not a thing today, sort of why not? Has feminism changed that? For example, if you see a woman getting robbed or assaulted or something like that, do you say, I'm a big He-Man hero, I'm rushing in to protect the little woman? Because if you do that, the chances are what if the person is doing the assaulting or the thieving is a black lesbian or something? Then it's very well that you could be arrested. You could be the one who's the white supremacist Nazi or something like that. So this idea of the chivalry and the honor of women and this sort of thing, it varies a little bit, I suppose, across different cultures. But let's explore that a bit more. Now, there's a couple of things sort of come to light or recently occurred in a part of Sydney that's very much down at heel. It's 25% of the population have been in prison at one time, and half the population's on welfare. It's that sort of place. Methadone clinics, crimes of every description are off the charts in these sort of suburbs. And there was a situation where there was a neighbour dispute. One, and I'm not sure who was, who started what, but one neighbour was saying the other one was playing their music too loud. There was an argument where there was a man and a woman arguing over a fence, and it degenerated. They started calling each other names and so on. So she then says to the guy, and says, "Okay, I'm going to get my man, my big tough man. He's gonna show you some respect. He's going to come over and he's going to beat you up, and that'll teach you to mess with me. You show me respect, and my man will beat you up if you don't. My man, my big man, he's going to come and get you." So, very, very sort of feral and so on, and quite unnecessary. But when you're in the business of respect and disrespect, what else can you do? What else can you? She can't beat him up, so you're going to get her man to come and beat him up. Kick that shit out of him. Teach him some fucking manners. He'll respect her next time. Whoa. So anyway, sure enough, she calls up some man, and this is according to the evidence and the court case and so on. So the police come around. The man comes around, and he goes next door to the guy, and you better crawl on your belly and apologise to my woman. Otherwise, you're in deep shit, motherfucker. So the guy says, "Get lost," and she's playing the music too loud. What's your problem? And this sort of thing. So next thing you know, they're having a punch up. The man comes over. He goes into the other guy's garage and having a punch up. So both of them are feral. I mean, neither one's unaccustomed to this sort of behaviour. So they're having a good old go. And anyway, the guy falls over and injures himself, and then he's got some heart issue or something like that. He dies. So it's murder. We're talking murder now. And so the police come around, as you can imagine, and then the woman goes, "Oh, I don't know anything about it. I don't know anything. Oh, I just told my man that I'd been disrespected, and he came over. He was compelled to come over and beat the shit out of another guy to show some respect. And I was sitting out the back having a cigarette. I don't know anything. I don't know anything." So yeah, sure you don't. You set the whole thing up. Yeah. So this idea of this of the honor of women, and women using that supposed sense of honor to try and encourage men, show me how much you love me, show me how much you care, go and beat him up for me, kill him if you want to, because that shows that you care about me even more. Now, is that honor, or is it a hero guy? I mean, how many guys would sucker for that sort of thing? I think you'd have to be pretty basic. Now let me go back to sort of childhood time, where among younger adults, but I remember seeing this sort of thing a fair bit. Men were constantly on the lookout for other men who'd committed some sort of, they'd been rude or some form of disrespect to a woman, because that was then a vehicle for them to prove and show their manhood. Was their manhood to do well at school, to get a good job, to provide well for a family, or was their manhood by setting good solid standards, or making sure their kids were well looked after and well dressed and were able to prosper in the world? Was that manhood? So what exactly is man? How we define? And these people didn't seem to really know, and so there was. They had this thing of finding women who'd been wronged by another man, and then going, "I'll beat him up for you." That's it. And I saw that a fair bit. Now, on the other side of it, I also saw women. This again, the age of being, 6 or 7 years old. So we're talking about, I don't know, young people. I suppose in their early 20s. I guess late teens, early 20s. The adults seemed ancient to me, of course, at the time, but they. I remember watching women set things up. So I remember watching a woman. This is quite vivid in my mind, actually. She went and just rando picked a fight with some little weedy guy, and she's interested in a relationship with some other man, some other guy. So she picks a fight with this weedy guy who his memory was, the guy was smaller than she was, and very, very sort of frightened of his own shadow sort of guy. Picks a fight with him, they argue, then she, that's it, I'm going to get my man to beat you up. And so she then goes, she rushes off, and I'm watching all this as a kid. She rushes off to the other guy and goes, he was rude to me. You have to go and bash him up for me. Now, as far as I'm concerned, she's commissioning a crime there, as in assaulting a citizen who's committed no crime. And if this is an issue, then wouldn't the man at least has been asked to go and beat someone else up? So, what do you do? What did he say? Did anyone else see that? Can I talk to them just to verify? I don't want to go just rando assaulting people based on your say so. So there's an interplay here. But the interplay was, I can pretend I'm your protector, and in return you'll give me sexual favors, and then I can pretend I'm a big tough man and a he-man. Now, are those things still in play today? I think amongst the more vulgar elements of society, they probably are. And I've seen a few instances where that would kind of, maybe not quite as bad as it was years ago, but the same sort of thing, where a man will come forward of, I think your behaviour to that woman is reprehensible, and I think it's only reasonable you should apologise, and this sort of thing. And so again, a hero guy, not to the extent of running around, rando beating folks up, but that type of thing. But I think in the subtlety of the interplay, certainly in instances that I've seen and observed over decades now, I didn't see a situation where some sort of blameless, helpless woman was put upon by some evil guy, and where it required someone else to sort of administer justice, give the guy a good thrashing. Now, there's quite a well-known centre-right journalist here in Australia, where he regularly says it's a man's duty to protect the honour of the little woman, and you have to stand up for these little women. You have to fight back. And yet he talks about the state shouldn't intervene, and the nanny state. He's against it, and he's against the ideology being imposed. He's against all that, but apparently he's going to run around and beat up randos. I don't think he would. I mean, I think it's tough talk. A lot of these people who say, if I ever see Billy Bob again, I'm going to give him a thrashing. Yeah, sure you are. Also, you find when these hero guys come along, they're very interested and keen on picking weak targets, little scrawny guys or something. They're going to beat them up. But if it's a big solid dude, there who looks like he's not going to take any nonsense and be very capable of fighting back, when suddenly they're not so hero about it anymore. So it's also quite selective in that sense. But on that interplay, and it plays into other things that men may have done, such as well, not beating people up, but things like opening car doors, or letting the woman go first, or standing on the outside of, so you're walking down the sidewalk where the man stands closer to the road so the woman doesn't get splashed by the carriage. All these little things like that. Are they all part of this wider sense of chivalry and honour and the like that really would have sort of been in existence in the medieval times? So now there's other things. I remember sort of when I was very first working as a kid, like as a casual over the summer holidays while I was still at high school. I remember it was a favoured sort of thing for the girls to, the younger women particularly, to pretend they'd been offended by some guy and to run to the toilet crying, and then they'd come out and they'd be, the big tough boss or somebody would come along and then threaten the, and I remember hearing about this, not only will you get fired, Billy Bob, but also I'm going to take you out the back and give you a pasting. How dare you offend the little woman? And it was seen as a man's role, not to administer this justice per se, but to well, if she was crying, then it must be a legitimate issue, and therefore I'm going to kick your ass, and that type of thing. And was that part of a social ideology? I mean, it was confined more to the, I thought anyway, confined more to the, the basic sort of more Neanderthal type people. But nonetheless, it was there, and I saw quite a lot of it. I don't see anywhere near as much today. I'm not hanging around in the same circles. I'm not a young kid anymore, that type of stuff. So maybe I'm in areas where it's less likely. Also, as you get older, you become far more circumspect in what you say. And we're in a situation now where if you use someone's incorrect pronoun, the police will be knocking at the door. Is this really just an extension of, or if you like, some form of perverted evolution of that type of thing of protecting or defending the supposedly protecting or offending the honour of the little woman or the oppressed and the downtrodden, this sort of thing? Someone has to stand up for the little woman. It's going to be me because I'm a big fucking hairy-chested hero, that type of thing. So I think that really the chivalry thing has evolved into something else. And what we see now, again, you use the wrong pronoun, or you call someone a lesbian, and then you've got 6 or 7 police officers at your door. But if you go and burn down a shop or go and rob the shop or something like that, there's no police to be seen. Or if there are, they won't do anything. But they're all big and tough when it comes to the pronouns. Is that how this already perverted sense of honour and protecting honour, is that how it's evolved? And is it just as perverted as the other one? Or previous iterations? You've been fantastic today. Your pushback channel. Thank you for listening.